This is another power bank or power station, solar generator, whatever you want to call it. This power station here can actually run your home, it can run your appliances, it can do everything. This is a 2400 watt unit inverter. Now, it doesn't have 2400 watts of battery power in there, it has 1380 watt hours. So if you're going to hook a fridge to this, for example, a fridge might use 1000 watts over a 24-hour period. This will run your fridge for a complete day by itself. But where do you need that extra power? If you wanted to run your fridge, your television, and a hot plate to cook, you could do all of that with the capacity that's in here for that 2400 watt inverter. I had it earlier, and it could have been 100% charged by this time in the show, but I had it down almost to zero earlier. And here I can go into the actual app for the unit, and I can adjust the output, the input. I can turn on and off the different items. I can turn the LED that's on the front of this. All of these power stations that I see now need to have a light. If they don't have a light, that's like a critical feature missing to me. I can turn the light up or down. I can turn the SOS on, and I can do this all right from the app, which is pretty cool. So that's one feature that it has, is this app control. It does have a boost mode in here. I can turn my AC on. So when I turn the AC on, the inverter inside of it kicks on. If you're not going to use the inverter, you can actually save a ton of power by not plugging it in. You can take this USB cable, this USB-C, and you'll see over here that it's got USB power delivery 30, but it has this spot down here that's USB power delivery 100 watts. Now the 100 watt USB power delivery can actually charge your laptop in an hour, so very, very fast. This is something I almost never see on here. You can plug your RV into this. This is a TT30 outlet. You're gonna see this a couple more times on the show. You almost never see a 30 amp, 120 volt outlet, but because this puts out so much power, and these have 20 amp rated outlets here as well for the standard outlet banks, because this puts out so much power, you could actually run an RV on it, and you could start the air conditioner in an RV. Now, it has a pairing capability. So if you had a external battery bank or you want to pair these up, it has that parallel port capability like a generator. Another neat thing about this is it can actually be used in a pass-through like a UPS mode. So you can be running it and using it while you're charging it, and if it fails to have power coming in, it just kicks on its battery and keeps the load going. So that's a really cool feature. Let's talk about the inputs and the outputs on this one. So it is going to have a standard cigarette lighter port over here, limited to 10 amps. It's going to have two 4 amp barrel jack connectors. Those are individually controllable, so I can turn those on and off. It's going to have the IoT reset. So if you hit that button, you can reprogram the wireless on it if you forget what your password or anything was. You are going to have your light on off button here, and you can set the SOS mode on it if you need to. On this side, we're going to have 3 USB Type-C outs. 2 of them are 30 watt. One of them, it looks like, is 100 watt. You're going to have a fast charge USB Type-A and a 5 volt 2.4 as well. And that fast charge, it looks like, is on 2 of these ports. You know what? I think this has 2 100 watt. I'm going to double check on the Amazon, but they have the label sitting in between them with 2 lines. So I'm guessing these might be 2 power delivery 100s, which would be awesome because you could fully charge a MacBook Pro and be on Starlink at the same time with one of these and not even have to turn the inverter on, which is cool. I can go into the settings of this and I can actually change the rate of charge and discharge, and I can put it in a fast charge mode. So I can set the AC output voltage if I want my voltage to be a little bit lower. If I want to set my charge speed, this thing has the ability to charge off of a generator and solar power at the same time. We'll talk about that in a second. So you've got the AC plus panel voltage charging. You can see the rates. I can charge up to 2400 watts continuous into this thing. That is about 2C of charging, so you wouldn't want to do that all the time, but that's a fantastic charge rate. The charge time to get that last 20% is going to be 3-4 hours. This has a ton of capacity, by the way, so it's going to take a few more hours. Now, if I want to increase that charge speed, I'll go back into the app, and I can increase that charge speed back to 700, and then it's going to be done here in under an hour. So that number is going to go down. If I come back out to the main screen here, it's going to tell you the charge time is 7.3 hours. Now it's going down to 1.4 So 1.6, 0.4, and then you can see the input. So the higher you go on the rate of input, the faster this thing charges. So there's the display on it. So that's going to show you the charging amount that you have here, the discharge amount, the fan settings, all of that, and then the output. So all of that's controlled, and then you can push each button to turn on the different areas. So now I've turned the USB ports on. I can turn the DC ports on. I can turn the light on, you know, I can do all that, and I'm using 1 watt of power. So it kind of 2 watts of power there. So we're going to have an AC speed charge option, so we can do that. We have an MC4 solar connector. That's a real standard solar connector. So that's really nice to have. You have your standard PC power connector, your overload, and guess what? You've got data. You've got an Ethernet port. That is from the Dabbsson company.